The Hearthstone battle for Alterac Valley begins today, and there's some really exciting stuff to experiment with. If you're looking for the next top-tier deck for ladder, you're in the wrong place. But if you're looking for fun experimental decks to try out on day one, we've got 7 really interesting deck suggestions for you. Before we dive into the decks, I should mention that there are timestamps and deck codes for each deck mentioned in the description below. Now, let's get ready for battle. The first deck we're introducing is a Questline Hunter deck, but with a new and interesting twist, Beaststalker Tavish. We've got most of the new secret package to help cycle through the deck a bit faster and buy us time to complete the questline. But you'll have a choice to make before you play your 4th spell, which does damage. Do you want to flood the board with free animal companions, or finish off the opponent with free steady shots? If you play Beaststalker Tavish before completing stage 2 of the questline, your new 3 mana hero power will be able to drop to 0 mana, and a couple more damage spells will let you summon as many animal companions per turn as you have spells and board space to support. With the secret package thinning your deck, there's a good chance you'll be able to find Tavish or Polkelt into Tavish before you have to decide which route you'll go. When you do have Polkelt rearrange the deck for you, Barak Kodabane will be a great follow-up to keep the spells flowing, with Petting Zoo flooding the board with Striders to fight alongside Leok when you summon him. Have fun summoning your free pet army. Next up, we've got a new Charge OTK warrior. Most people are focusing on the OTK, which you can do with Captain Galvangar after playing 2 copies of To the Front alongside Faceless Manipulator and Battleground Battlemaster for 36 damage. That's a cool combo, which this deck is running too. But why limit yourself to 1 Charge OTK combo when you can include a second one as a backup? Grommash Hellscream becomes a terrifying rage monster with charge when you swap his stats with Reflecto Engineer. An 8 mana 9/4 with charge isn't bad, but if you hit him with a Sword and Board or Cruel Taskmaster, he'll jump to dealing 15 or 17 charging damage. Play 2 copies of To the Front into Grom and trigger his effect with Sword and Board or Cool Taskmaster and copy him with Faceless Manipulator to get 30 or 34 charge damage at their face. The Reflecto Engineer has little influence on the rest of your deck, but it might work quite well to disrupt your opponent's game plan. And if you did make one of their minions quite a bit more frightening, one of the many board clears in the deck, including the new Frozen Buckler into a 0 mana Shield Shatter, should help deal with it. Have fun sending your charge minions to the front. The big spell package coming to Mage looks like it'll be a lot of fun to experiment with, but the new mechanic that piqued my curiosity the most is Magister Dawngrasp's new hero power, which scales by 2 damage per honorable kill, dealing exact lethal damage to a minion. What exactly happens when you play Reckless Apprentice with Dawngrasp? How much can a single apprentice scale your hero power? We haven't had a chance to test it yet, but these questions inspired this Dawngrasp the Hero deck. It's running a minion-heavy hero power synergy package with Starscryer, Frostweave Dungeoneer, and Deepwater Evoker to help pull the spells from our deck. A couple Shivering Sorceresses can discount a copy of Potion of Illusion to 2 mana, allowing us to get a 1 mana 1/1 copy of Mordresh back in hand when we've got 10 mana. Though you will want to dump the other 3 mana spells in hand before playing the second Sorceress to make sure the discount goes to the potion. And with Wildfire as the only fire spell and Potion of Illusion as the only arcane spell run in the deck, Dawngrasp will replay them with their battlecry if we haven't discovered and played another fire or arcane spell from Wand Thief. Meaning Dawngrasp will start with a 2 damage hero power and a couple cheap minions to close out the fight. It'll be particularly exciting if we're able to Potion of Illusion a Mordresh before playing Dawngrasp so we can drop a 1-mana 1/1 Mordresh into Dawngrasp, who will give us another 1-mana 1/1 Mordresh, which we can play out again right away. That's quite a bit of damage. But hopefully Dawngrasp's scaling hero power alongside an apprentice or two will be enough to close out the game when Mordresh isn't enough. Enjoy recklessly bursting opponents to death. Irondeep Trogg looks pretty weak on his own, but what happens when you give him a few buffs? What if you give him Divine Shield as well? Then he starts looking a lot more frightening. Our fourth deck recommendation is this new buff Paladin running Sidon the Scarlet and Lightforge Cariel alongside the Irondeep Troggs for some serious board dominance. We do an achievement hunting series on this channel as well, so I'm going to go ahead and note that this deck is likely to be one of our recommendations for the You're in Irondeep Trouble achievement to control 7 Irondeep Troggs at the same time. If you play both copies of the Troggs and copy them with Gift of Luminance, making them much more difficult to remove without casting spells thanks to the Divine Shields, the opponent playing a single spell will give you a full board of Irondeep Troggs for achievement complete. But giving a buffed Irondeep Trogg Divine Shield with Hold the Bridge will make him quite sticky too. And getting an extra 1/1 copy of Overlord Runethak or High Lord Fordragon with Gift of Luminance won't feel bad. Though Sidon alongside Hold the Bridge for a ton of healing will feel great too. Have fun showing the world that Irondeep Troggs are really buff. Rogue is getting some really cool new tools with this expansion, and I can hardly wait to dive into Contraband Rogue. But we decided to feature a deck with the new Deathrattle tools because the potential of shuffling 48 Plush Bear tickets into the deck was just too enticing to pass up. Yes, it's extremely unlikely, but with Snowfall Graveyard into Sketchy Information, to play Ticketmaster onto a board with Forsaken Lieutenant and Counterfeit Blade copying Ticketmaster's Deathrattle, it is actually possible to shuffle 48 tickets into your deck. But we're also running Lillian and Korrak as amazing alternatives for Sketchy Information with Talon, Claw Machine, and a few Deathrattles from Reconnaissance to fill out the Deathrattle package. The Swinetusk Shank and Poison package are in the deck to help with control and drawing, especially alongside the Cutting Glass. But it won't feel too bad to break the Shank with a Counterfeit Blade when you're looking for more Deathrattles to trigger with Snowfall Graveyard. Have fun dragging your opponent through a graveyard full of plush bears. Rogue certainly isn't the only class with potential to get insane value from Korrak. We've got a very deadly Deathrattle-y? Priest deck ready to exploit Zyrella's Battlecry for all it's worth. Gift of Luminance or Psyche Split on Korrak or Shadowed Spirit will directly connect with pressure to take the opponent down when Zyrella is played. Or you could get some amazing value from Light Shower Elementals and Undying Disciple to help recover against aggro decks. Spirit Guide has plenty of targets to still get value in the late game, and if it looks like the game could go to fatigue, a couple extra Reliquary Primes shuffled into the deck might help. Not to mention the pressure a couple of Amulets of Undying can present to close out the game. So yeah, there's a lot going on in this deck, but if the opponent hasn't swarmed you down by turn 5 or 6, it's very likely you'll be able to stabilize and grind them down with the Zyrella, either finishing them off right away or putting them on a clock with your new hero powers. Enjoy flooding the board with Blood Ragers. And our final day 1 deck recommendation is a merger of Elemental Shaman and the new Frost Spell Synergy package, which Alterac Valley is bringing. Not only is Sleepbreaker an elemental, but it gives you an extra copy of what may well be the best 1-mana spell in Standard, Wind Chill. Freeze a minion and draw a card for just 1 mana? Sure. Do all that while charging up a Baron Glacier to summon us a board of freezing elementals that'll do tons of damage alongside a cheaty Snowballed? Okay. And if the opponent clears our board of Glacier's Frozen Staggards, how about using Brilliant Macaw to summon another wave of them? There are plenty of battle cries to copy with Macaw, which also means you may end up playing another battle cry before you copy Glacier's. But Baron Glacier's battlecry will feel great to repeat with this parrot. I mentioned in the intro, this is not the place to come looking for the next top tier deck, but with the strength of the elemental package, alongside the freezes and pressure of massive board generation, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if a version of this deck climbs to tier 1. It's not nearly as wacky as most of the other decks we introduced, but it should be a lot of fun and probably will win many games. So have fun teaching opponents elementary lessons on freezing. And that's it for our day 1 suggested decks. We'll be experimenting with these decks on stream at twitch.tv/SSAlchemist this Thursday from 7 p.m. Eastern. So come join us if you'd like to see these decks in action, or share your own early Alterac Valley stories with chat and me. But yeah, that's it this time. I hope you enjoy these decks and found this helpful. If you did, be sure to tap that like button and smash that subscribe button, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We release videos here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. As mentioned, we'll be streaming this Thursday, and our regular streams are on Saturdays and Sundays. And remember, you're awesome. Thank you for watching, and have an awesome day.
Raise your voice for Alterac! Just remember, never fall back. Never fall back. Hold the bridge, push the ridge. Never fall